Today's Thursday, July 11th, and this is a status check on a trade I took earlier this morning involving American Homes for Rent. This is a REIT, or a real estate investment trust. The ticker symbol is AMH, and as of the time of this recording, the stock is quoted at $37 and a penny, and since trading started this morning, it's down 30 cents. So this is a chart layout at the daily time frame. Each of these candlesticks represents a day's worth of trading. This is today's candlestick right here. So a couple of things. The red vertical dash lines are markers for expiration Friday for monthly option contracts. This is system generated, so I didn't overlay this here. However, what I did overlay are these two support and resistance levels that I marked up via the blue horizontal lines. So local resistance is $37.62. Local support is $35.18. And the rationale for these two levels is that just by looking left, you can see that price has just been pretty much ranging inside between these two support and resistance levels going back for about a year and a half. So this is already going as far out as November of last year. So from my perspective, these levels are valid. And what I'm showing up here is an open order. This is a stop order to close out the trade if price breaks above $37.76. And what I'm referring to is that I took a short position. Considering that price was already at the upper half of this range, I was speculating that the next move would eventually be a break to the downside, coming back down to retest 35.18 over the next few days or so. So that was the general thesis for this bearish position. And this is just an alarm to notify me if price is breaking back to the upside. And if I open up active trader, I shorted 307 shares this morning. My entry price averaged out to $37. I'm going to round it up to 80 cents per share. And the trade is up $247.90 since entering to trade this morning. So all morning after the bell started for the stock market to start trading, I started scaling in. First was like 100 shares, then I added 25 shares and so on. So that's why there's an odd number in cents here. So so that's the current status. I'm looking to see if I can close this out eventually back at the support level of $35.18. So if I scroll down to $35.18, that has a profit potential of right here, $35.18 is at the bottom. That has a profit potential of approximately $803. So this would be a target I would be looking at. However, if there is a strong indication that there's going to be a major sell-off, then of course I'll let the trade continue running lower. And at the same time, I will start walking my limit order lower as well. So at some point, I'm going to have my limit order sitting in front of my entry price. I believe it's sitting there now. So if I scroll up to my entry price, so my entry price is right here at $37.79, which is approximately the zero line on the profit and loss side of this ledger. And as a precaution, I have my limit order sitting in front of my entry price, guaranteeing that this is a risk-free trade, provided that there's a spike back up to the upside. So I will start gradually walking it down. I'll probably walk it down to the $100 level, profit level at this point. So that's the current status. And for the purpose of time, I'll pause it here. I'll do periodic updates along the way. I think this may play out over the next 2 weeks, maybe. Hopefully it doesn't take that long. Hopefully we'll get back-to-back red days in the stock market. So I'll end it here, and I'll pick it up in a few days. Today's Friday, July 12th, and the stock market's been closed for a little over 30 minutes now. So I thought I'd go ahead with a end of day or end of week review on the American Homes short. As of today's trading session, the stock ended the week at $36.02 per share. And overall trading, the stock was down another 53 cents. So clearly what's showing here is that price is more than halfway, approximately, to coming down to retest this support level of 35.18. And this white line I just added a little while ago to show where I took the short entry. Essentially, when price broke above this resistance level, I had my alarms set. And when I quickly reassessed the setup, that's when I took the short as price started fading to the downside, ultimately leading to where it is right now. So clearly this trade is exceeding all my expectations. I didn't think it was going to be a sharp drop to where it's been the past 2 days. So right here, my limit order, I started walking it down. Right now it's sitting at $36.81. And if I open up Active Trader, the overall trade is up $545, of which $162 was just from today's session. And if I scroll up to my limit order, it's sitting right here at $36.81 to protect at least $302 if there's a significant spike back to the upside Monday. However, if price continues working its way to the downside, I will continue walking my limit order lower and hopefully intercept price as it crosses below 35.18, closing this trade out. So that's the current status of this trade. I'll pause here and I'll pick it up next week. So another update. Today is Thursday, July 18th, and as of the time of this recording, American Homes is quoted at $36.49, and it's up another 18 cents. So from the daily time frame, you can see that since I entered this position, there were 3 consecutive red days. It's now been 3 consecutive green days, and price is starting to rally a bit. However, I'm still bearish on the stock for it to ultimately come back down and retest 35.18. So as price was coming down, I started walking my stop order lower. However, the past 3 days, as price has been trending to the upside, a little while ago, I just doubled my position. So I'm now short 614 shares, speculating that after this brief uptrend, we might see another leg to the downside. So that would eventually lead to that retest of 35.18. With all things said, opening up Active Trader, the trade is up $300.28. And right now I'm holding 614 shares short. And my new cost basis or average price per entry is $37.25. I'm just going to round it up to 25 cents. And right here, this red line, it's just a visual marker as to where I'd like to close out the trade if price continues ripping higher, or I would say working its way to the upside. And 36.89 is sitting right here. Well, and that would be a profit protection of $50. So I've given up over $450 at this point. But because I've just doubled my bearish position, I'm hoping to make up that loss if price does break to the downside within the next 12 hours or so. So I'm just being patient. But this is an alarm to notify me if price continues increasing. If and when price breaks above $36.62, this is where this alarm is sitting at, then I'll reassess the setup. I might even walk my stop order even lower, and then I'll take it from there. So yeah, that's current position. I'll pause it here, and I'll pick it up when something more significant does occur. So another update. Today's Monday, July 22nd, and as of the time of this recording, the stock is quoted at $36.56. So another bullish day on American Homes. You can see there's a slight uptrend now. So what I've done is I've walked my stop order just a little lower. It's now sitting at $36.67. So if I open up Active Trader, overall P&L is up $425. However, my stop is sitting right here at $36.67, which is a take profit of $354.60. So just literally a few pennies away from getting closed out. Uh, However, I am still bearish on this because it's now starting to look like a two-legged pullback. And what I'm referring to is that this first drop would be considered as the first leg. Then we have this consolidation phase, and then typically that would be followed by a second leg lower. So let's say price doesn't go any higher after today, and the second leg is will be starting tomorrow, let's just say. So typically the second leg would equal to that for the first leg. And if then that would be the two-legged pullback, right? So here's the first leg, consolidates, second leg lower. So the second leg would actually be a retest of the lower support level of 34.45. But if I do get closed out, I am looking to jump back in for that second leg down. So if I do get closed out, I would be okay for that at 36.67, and then just wait for another opportunity to short that second leg, provided this is an actual two-legged pullback in progress. So that is the current status. I'll pause it here, and the trade continues. So it's been a few minutes, but we can see here that my stop order was just filled, as the high on this current candlestick is $36.67. So I am out of this trade. So if I open up Active Trader, the position lost $264 in just today's trading session, but I was still able to capitalize on that move to the downside with a profit of $354. And also, when price hit this low of $35.74 back on July 15th, unfortunately, I didn't close it out here because this was a $900.25 limit profit potential I could have. But in any case, I'm still bearish on this stock. So I'm just going to sit back and wait for another opportunity to short it. Again, I'm still anticipating that this could potentially be a two-legged pullback eventually. So for the purpose of time, I'll end it here and I'll pick it up on the next trade.